Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Stories of the Other Side, where we talk about paranormal experiences, investigations, and everything in between, told by fellow investigators. I'm your host, Jada Sellers, and I'm being joined by my co host, Matthew Willis. And tonight we are accompanied by Josh Hurd, a fellow investigator and the owner of Melvin Manor. So, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Um, my name is Josh. I'm a paranormal author, lecturer, filmmaker, all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah, like you said, owner of Malvern Manor, lover of all things strange. How about that?
There we go. So, I saw on your Facebook that you just got back from a 2 night investigation at the Sally House and McIntyre Villa. Would you like
Yeah.
to tell us a little bit about that?
So, yeah. So I walked in wanting to, because I mean, I have like a YouTube channel or whatever, and I post
Mhm.
all these weird things, but I wanted to do like a live stream, and then I was going to do like long form content, and I was going to do one from the Sally House, and then the next night just do it at McIntyre Villa. And I, I went into it like, oh yeah, this is going to be totally easy. This will be a cakewalk. You know what I mean? And there was way more that happened at Sally House than I bargained for. I will say
Okay.
that. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I was like alone, if I was, because I was solo or whatever, like if like I may have like added to the creep factor or if I got in my own head. But I mean towards the end of the evening, it was to the point where I was really debating. I'm like, do I really actually sleep here? Or do I just go out to the truck and sleep there? Or do I go to like the hotel or something like that? Like, what do I do? Um, but yeah, it was weird. Like I was questioning life choices at that point. You know what
I
I mean?
definitely get that.
Yeah. It was weird, bro. Like I don't understand what was going on with that place. But I mean, it was very active that night. Um the next night, like obviously I didn't sleep much at all. And Stephanie over at McIntyre Villa was very kind. And she was like, hey, here's a code. Let yourself in early and maybe get some sleep.
That's awesome.
It was super cool of her. Um, so I slept for like 90 minutes, took a little power nap or so, and then I just started, charging up equipment and getting it all placed. And then it was the exact same thing, wash, rinse, and repeat for that night, where it's like do a live stream for a few hours and then do some long form content as well. It's just, it was crazy. McIntyre Villa totally showed up as well. One of the most, in my opinion, one of the most active buildings that I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of places, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was really cool. It's Atchison in and of itself is just a weird place anyway, you
it
know?
is.
Kansas is a weird freaking place. Um, it's just it's really cool like being here in like Iowa and having all of this stuff kind of like in your backyard, you know?
Yeah.
It makes it a little easier to travel back and forth. But yeah,
Oh,
so
for
that was
sure.
my idea was go and do a 2 night thing at two very haunted locations and hope for the best. And I'll probably do it again at some point, just two different locations, you know?
Yeah. So, what are some kind of experiences that you had at the Sally House? 'Cause I like to hear about what you encountered, and then I can share a couple things that we encountered when we were there that were like totally mind blowing.
Certainly. So the one thing that got me was that okay, on the second floor, right?
Yep.
You have that one bedroom that has that very odd closet. And
Yes.
everybody's like, "Oh, it's a portal, it's a whatever," right? And that's fine. Um I've never known like what was up with that closet. It feels kind of weird, you know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
also about as psychic as a rock in the driveway, just like not at all. So I use all the gadgets and gizmos and geekometers that I possibly can. And that night was no different. So I had put um the music box, like that coffin shaped music
Yep.
box, the motion sensor.
Yeah.
Um I had placed that outside of the closet, just shooting in. Inside the closet, I put like a dead bell and a couple cat balls and things like that. It was fascinating. And now outside, close to the motion sensor, I had also put out um, this brand new ESPM device. And basically, what it's doing is it's monitoring um, proximity to the device, but it's also gauging temperature and air pressure. So if there's a fluctuation in air pressure as well, it would let you know. That night was super weird to me. And this happened on live stream, which was great too. The ESPM was monitoring or registering a shift in air pressure, air density specifically. And what was happening then is that would go off. The motion sensor would then go off, signifying that something was moving in or around that closet. And then the dead bell would go off. Fascinating. I'm like, how is like all three devices
Right.
tripping at the same time? I'm like, obviously something is happening. Like something anomalous is happening. Um, for such a sudden shift in air pressure and motion, and then an EMF hit on that dead bell. It was fascinating, bro. It
That's
was really,
awesome.
really fascinating. So yeah.
So besides like that room, like what other areas of the house are like really hot spots for you?
The basement. Um, so earlier in the night, I hadn't even gone live yet. I was just setting things up. I was just putting out the trip wires and all of that stuff. And I heard a noise, like a little squeak, and I was like, "What the heck was that?" It was coming from the kitchen. So I peek in the kitchen. The basement door was in the process of opening. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh crap." So I'm like, "Okay." So like if that's happening, I'm like, I'm like, that felt weird. Like it always feels weird in that basement anyway. And so I'm like, well, maybe they're telling me to come down there. And now whether I want to take the bait or not is kind of
Right.
on me, right? Um, so at one point in the live stream, I did go down there. I had the what did I have down there? The I had the camera, the XLS camera, and I think that was about it. Um, a spirit portal going as well. But I mean, during that whole time, I turned off the spirit portal. We got this really weird disembodied voice that was quite audible. Everybody heard it, even on the dang stream, they were hearing it. Um, it sounded like a child, which was kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
Um, but we got that. And then I had this really cool anomalous thing that showed up on the XLS camera. It looked like it was sitting almost like crisscross applesauce about 4 feet in front of me. Um,
Wow.
what was strange about it is then how it behaved. Like it would do a wave every once in a while. And for the most part, it was just kind of sitting there. And I'm like, it almost felt like we were in a standoff, like who's moving first type of thing, right? Like which one of us is going to do something first.
Yeah.
And it slunk down and went like just kind of skittered away really fast and like almost disturbingly fast, I will say, like how fast it went down and then
Yeah.
skittered off. Like it was really strange. Um, and so that, like, those things were what really, really got me. Apparently, at one night, or at one time, I had a lot of equipment sitting in what they just call Sally's room.
Mm-hmm.
So like all those toys and dolls and all of
Yep.
that stuff. Um, and so I had set up a lot of equipment in there, and then I just put the phone down like on a tripod, shooting into the room, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab the XLS camera, get it geared up and ready to roll. I'm also gonna use the restroom and take a drink. So give me like 5 minutes, and I'll be back." Apparently, as I went downstairs, which is interesting too, because you can hear a lot that goes on in that house, and I didn't hear any of this. Every one of those devices started to just go crazy. Like apparently the REM pod was just like pinging, like just redlining, and the tripwire was going crazy as well. I'm like, what is happening? Because nothing changed other than me leaving.
Yeah.
So I'm like, was that part of it? Was it just the absence of me? Um, that was kind of the antecedent of that. Was it me removing myself then from that area that set everything off? Um, I don't know, but it was apparently wild. I haven't even rewatched that bit yet to see what everybody was freaking out about, but they're like, that was absolutely wild. So I'm excited to go see it.
So I kind of had a similar experience in that room, but of the opposite of when I was in there. So my team member Courtney, I can't remember, she had put a whole bunch of toys in a circle in the middle of the room, and she put some kind of device in there. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But I went in there by myself. Everybody was downstairs, and I had set a REM pod on the floor, and I was sitting next to the bed, kind of in the corner by the window to the back of the house.
Mhm.
And I was moving stuff on the bed to put my camera on there facing me. The REM pod just started going crazy. Every time I touched the bed, touched any of the toys on the bed, the REM pod just would like explode. It's like I was pissing something off.
Weird.
And then every time, I moved away, it would stop. And then like I had my daughter and another person come up and I was showing them. They're like, what in the heck is going on? It was just so bizarre. And they both tried doing what I was doing. They had nothing.
What the heck?
Yeah. But so it was just like weird. And my phone was in airplane mode,
Hmm.
no anything else, but just touching the bed. It's like whatever was in there did not want me touching the bed. It was just unreal. This went on for like 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is freaking weird. Like, I don't know what it is. You know, the last time that I had been in that house, literally, there was one thing that happened, one thing, and it lasted a grand total of roughly a second and a half. And it was all my stuff was upstairs on the second level. Everything went off at once. Everything went off simultaneously at once and it redlined. It even zapped one of my REM pods. Like it just killed it dead. And
Crazy.
it was nuts for 1.5 seconds. And then literally nothing else happened the remainder of the night. Nothing happened before that, and nothing happened after that. Um, but it was weird. So I don't know what was going on. So I maybe I was a little cocky going into all of this because I was like, I can sleep in the Sally house. Literally nothing happened there the last time I was there. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I got this, no
Yeah.
problem. And then, yeah, like I said, I was questioning life decisions after that. Like, maybe I should have been a tax accountant. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
Well, it's like another thing that happened, like that really stood out for us. So we were all in the dining room area. I can't really remember what we were all doing, but like when you're walking upstairs, you have that window ledge right there,
yeah.
and there's that wooden duck or whatever it is sitting in the window ledge. We set a ball next to it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we're in the living room. All of a sudden, we hear this loud thud. We're like, what the hell is that? My daughter and I and team member Courtney walked in the living room. Here's the ball at the bottom of the stairs bouncing around.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, I legit thought my daughter jumping up and down, she was going to fall through the floor because it's just like, holy shit, the ball just got thrown down the stairs.
That is freaking sweet, though.
Yeah.
Wow. I put a ball at the top of the stairs, like on the top step, and I was
Yep.
really hopeful that it would fall down, and it never did. Um, so I mean, it sat up there literally all night in the same spot. It never moved. So I was like, dang it. Like I was really hopeful to get that.
But one thing I was hopeful for that didn't happen is I wanted the TV to turn on.
Oh yeah, dude. I was kind of hoping for that too, but yeah, it never did. It never did. Which would have been nuts.
It would have been.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool.
So yeah, we didn't really get much in the basement. That was kind of a bummer. I was like, I even was down there for like I think 15 minutes by myself and absolutely nothing. I'm just
Hmm.
like, come on, something happened down here.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, and the basement is a little different now too. Um, so they put a hand railing leading down,
Okay.
and then the big hole in the wall.
Yeah, I've
Has
seen that covered now
Yeah,
compared to like past videos where you could actually climb in there.
yeah, yeah. Because I remember like when we were filming the third A Brush with Evil movie that I did, we like I put myself back in there, um, and just sat there for like 45 minutes, just begging for anything to happen. But yeah, there's certainly no getting back there now. Like no way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a good experience. I will say that. I think I'll also probably stop talking as much smack about the Sally House because it threw me for a loop. I will say that it really truly it really had me guessing, um, which was cool. I mean, it was pretty cool. McIntyre Villa the next night was the amount of disembodied voices in that house is ridiculous. The amount of things that you can pick up in that house is just crazy to me. Um, so numerous times in McIntyre, I was hearing disembodied voices, and it was children, or it was a male or a female, sometimes hushed conversations going on. Really weird stuff. The the equipment that I had set out, it was difficult because some of it was hitting and some of it wasn't. And then it was like you would move it to maybe try to adjust, and sometimes it would hit and sometimes it wouldn't. There was one point I was walking around with the XLS camera because everybody on the live stream loves it when I use that. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
like to see when it actually hits.
Yeah.
Um, and it's cool when it does. I will say that it's freaking crazy when it happens. Um, there was at one point I was walking around with that, and I set the XLS down, and as I stood up, there was this giant shadow figure that was standing at the top of the stairs that lead you into the attic. Have you been there yet?
I have not.
It is a beautiful building.
We
Um,
drove by there the
yeah,
morning after the Sally House. I'm like, gotta drive by. It's so
yeah,
close.
yeah. It's such a beautiful place. Um, but upstairs, right at the door to the attic, like there was a very large black humanoid figure standing right there, and I go, "Oh my God!" Like I freaked out. The way that my camera is positioned or whatever, it wasn't picking up what I was seeing. Like I was able to see more than the camera. I'm looking right at it, and I have the camera pointed right at it, and then it goes whoop, like it went right down the stairs basically. It made no noise. There was not, you know what I'm saying? And they're
Yeah.
creaky steps, they're creaky wooden steps. Like it certainly would make a noise.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
this wasn't a person, like for sure, and it was very odd. Um, Again, like the amount of activity that I got just in the attic of McIntyre was crazy. Hell, at one point I was down in the basement, and I had this really cool old cassette recorder. So like analog cassette recorder, And so I'm using that, and I just hit play to review a quick little burst session that we were doing. And we were just going to review that real quick. And there's this loud thud, bang, something, but it had a lot of weight to it, whatever it was. And it was certainly coming from the main level of the house. And I was like, there's no way. Like, if I were standing on the main level of that house, it probably, like, I would have felt the vibrations all the way up to my knees, probably. So this was a significant bang. And I immediately stopped the recorder and just went right upstairs, and nothing was out of place. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, here you are in a building that's one of the most haunted locations I've ever been in, and you're totally alone. Like you are 100%
Hmm.
alone. It's just you and whatever the hell else is going on in there. And that really starts to mess with your brain after a while.
Oh,
Like
for
it
sure. I
like
totally get that.
like you get this weird realization, like you're in the basement of this place, like you're in the bowels of these locations, and it just dawns on you that you're like, what if something were to happen right now? It is pitch black. Like I the only like really like the flashlight or anything that I have is just on the cell phone that's streaming. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I would be so screwed in so many different ways if
Hmm.
something were to go sideways right now. And it's a really weird realization that you're like, how many feet am I away from the door or anything? So it really gets to like messing with your head. And then it gets to the point where you're like, okay, now everything is said and done and I've riled everything up in the building. And now it's like, well, I now I have to like somehow magically lay down and attempt to sleep, you know? And it's terrifying. It sucks
Oh,
like
for
when that
sure.
happens. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully everything turns out okay and I get some really cool YouTube content out of it. We'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the thing is like, reviewing the footage, it's like there's stuff that you might miss when you're on location. Like last night we had a podcast, and after that, I was going through some footage from an investigation a month ago. And this piece of footage, I sent it to Jada, her mom, our podcast guests last night. I even was looking over this footage for 45 minutes, still can't wrap my head around what I was seeing, but there was
Wow.
definitely like a shadow figure that we caught like by the stairwell, and it's just like watching him like it's just like holy crap. It's like still watching the footage and I can't wrap my head around it. It's like we didn't see it as it happened,
Hmm.
but it's just like it is insane.
I think that's the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like that, like when you capture something like that, that you are left like completely scratching your head. Like, what the hell could that have even been?
Right.
Like, that is the good stuff for me. You know, like I really, really enjoy that. It's like, yeah, go ahead and try and stump me, trying to stump us. Like, let's see what's actually happening here. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
really cool.
it's the house in Minneapolis, like maybe 20 minutes away from me, and these people live in the house. So I even sent the owner the footage, and he's like, "What the hell?" He was like scared shitless, but he's
Yeah.
just like, "Okay." It's like, what did you get? I'm like, I don't know. It's like I need to go back there because I want to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Isn't that the thing that sucks? It's like we'll go and we'll get the crap scared out of us, or we'll just be like, what the hell was that? And then you get this itch and you're like, yeah, I got to go back now.
Yep. So I'm trying to
Now I got to
work
go back.
out going back next Saturday because it's
Heck yeah.
so close. It's like one of those locations you can drive to and go home and sleep the same night.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yep.
Those are nice for sure. Excuse me.
Okay, I'll turn it over to Jada. I'm sure she has questions galore.
So, actually, this isn't really about any investigation or anything, but you're the first person that we've talked to, or that I've talked to personally, who's like an owner
Mm.
of a place. So I just want you to tell us what it's like operating and running one of these buildings.
So owning a haunted location, number one, is kind of weird in and of itself, right? But it's it's definitely a labor of love. Like I will say that. Um, a lot of people, I think they kind of romanticize this idea in their head that, oh my God, things would be so amazing if I could just own a location, if I could do this, if I could do that, or whatever. I'm telling you right now, like it's amazing. Sure, I meet a lot of cool people, but at the same time, it's like there is so much that goes into it.
Mhm.
What people don't see on the back end of everything is how much taxes are. There are some of these locations that I know and talk to personally or whatever that are spending $9,000-$10,000 a year on taxes. It is absolutely ludicrous. And then you have all the insurance on top of all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And then it's 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 a pain in the butt. It really is. And there's so much that goes into it because something's always going to break. Trust me on
Oh
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those deals. Um, like here at Malvern Manor, for an example, like the roof is leaking right now, and it's become the bane of my existence. But it's been like that now for 3 years, and then we had it fixed, and then it started leaking again. And so it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, like we have to do something, right? Well, getting a new roof on a place, I mean, that's gonna suck. Like that's gonna be a lot of money, you know? And it's like it's just crazy stuff how expensive everything is. And then there's always something to buy because everything is breaking all the time. But I will also say it's incredibly rewarding at the same time because you get to know these resident spirits around
Hmm.
here and they get to know you and you kind of start to understand what makes them tick and they certainly understand what makes you tick and they like here for an example I know I'm fairly confident that they know exactly how to get me to freak out
Mhm.
and they're really good at it and they know exactly how far they can push it and they do that and i I feel like I know them enough that I can be like, hey, could you just maybe do this, please? Or could you do that, please? Or whatever. And they usually seem to oblige. You know, it's really cool. If we have like a production crew of something or some show or some YouTube or whatever, I'll always kind of walk around and give the building a little pep talk beforehand. And I'm like, hey, listen, like these are the people that are showing up and you really need to mess with them and you need to lay it on thick type of thing. And usually that works out okay. You know, they'll show up and they'll scare the crap out of the YouTubers and everything's fine. So it's great. But yeah. So it's a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? There's so many good things that come along with it, but man, there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes that is just such a irritation that
Right.
it's just it makes it difficult.
Well, then another thing too is like with so many people passing through the halls, like whether it's like, you know, on your tours or your private overnights, you just got to make sure like, everything is up to par the next morning, like nothing gets broken or
Yeah.
taken.
And that's the one thing about Malvern Manor that I kind of like pride myself on is that everything is how we found it. Like we haven't done anything to the building. We've made it as structurally sound as possible without touching the guts. We've left the building in a state of suspended decay, you know, and it's really cool. Um, so there's that, but I'm also very encouraging to people. Like, yeah, this place is exactly how we found it, but don't feel like you're walking around a museum.
Right.
Mhm.
Sit on a bed if you want. It's gross, but do it. Like, you know, or try on the clothes in the dresser drawers. Again, gross, but if it can elicit a response, do it. Be as interactive with the building as you choose to be. Um, like I certainly am not going to babysit anybody, and I'm certainly not going to tell people the right or wrong way to investigate. I think that's ludicrous in and of itself.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll never be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if we can try something that could get a response in some way, we could try to employ that the next time and maybe start to correlate what's really happening here. And I think that's important, really.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, when I've been to Edinburgh Manor, like I told you last podcast, like
Hmm.
7 times, it's like I'm totally fine with like sleeping inside the manor on one of the beds. I'm like, yeah, those beds, who knows how many people have sat on them, how gross the sheets are, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like I want that experience at in the middle of the night when everybody else is sleeping. It's just like you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. And that's fair too. I mean, that's one of the cool things, isn't it, about like the haunted locations is it is full immersion into history itself. You know what I mean? Like you are literally like lying on the same beds that these patients laid on.
Yep.
You know, and that's crazy. You're able to look at and touch and like put on these clothes that were once worn by these patients. That's insane. But it's right there. For God's sake, we still have one dude's fingernail clippings in the top drawer of his room in the dresser drawer. It's fucking gross. But we have it.
Yep.
I'm not touching it for numerous reasons, but I'm not touching it because that's his and it's a part of this place. And
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Like but yeah, um, I don't know. It's just freaking weird.
Right, Jada.
Well, so what about the manor itself? What was like the selling point for it? What made you want to buy the building?
So initially what happened was I was across the street and I was filming a documentary.
Hmm.
And it's this really cool place. It's called the Classic Cafe. And they have a whole like slew of paranormal things going on over there. And they were kind enough to say, like, yeah, bring your film crew, bring all of that stuff. You can film, do whatever. We went there and there's a bar that's attached to the place. So with
Yeah.
noise contamination, we could not do anything. And so I went outside, met this really cool dude who was like, "What's with all the cameras?" And I'm like, "You're gonna think I'm crazy. We're looking for ghosts." He's like,
Hmm.
"That's kind of cool. I don't believe in that crap, but everybody has the but moment, right?" And so he's like, "Yeah, I don't believe in that crap, but he's like, I own a building and it used to be a hotel and then it was a nursing home and then it was a group home for mentally handicapped people. It's like 10,000 square feet. Place is crazy. Weird things happen in there all the time. Again, I don't believe in this, but weird things happen in there that I can't explain." And I said, "Well, where is this place? That sounds fascinating." He said, "It's right across the street." And I'm like, "Pretty sure we just became best friends." So he let us in the building that night. We did our thing. I fell in love with this building and the caliber of activity that was happening to us, right? It was nuts. And so I'm like, this is really cool. And I got to talking with this dude. I'm like, I don't think you realize what you have here. I'm like, this is a really cool thing. Like, people would pay you money to come and visit this place and investigate this stuff. I'm like, let me help you. Let me help you do this. And that's how we did it for like the first 6 months. And it's like people would come, they would pay cash. I would take the cash, I would run it directly over to him. I wanted no money, not a single dime. I just wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, right?
Hmm.
And that worked great for like 6 months. And then he got a new job. He had to leave. He was selling everything. And I was like, pump the brakes, homeboy. You know what I mean? Like, pump the brakes. Give me a few weeks to figure some crap out. And we bought the building. We were able to keep it going how it was going. And so that was for me it was the history, it was digging into the factual history and then correlating that history with paranormal things that were going on here. Like that was the selling point for me mainly. And I was like, when he said that he was going to sell the place, like my heart sank because I was like, this is going to become a parking lot if we don't intervene here and keep the building doing what it's doing now. And thank God we did. Like, thank God we did because I mean, shit, like 2 months later, I was already in talks with Travel Channel and all that stuff and like getting, um, Nick Groff and his crew over here as well and doing that. And so I mean, thank God we did that because then, yeah.
Yeah. So I know that you are all about just talking how the roof is messing up and there's a bunch of downsides to owning the building.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what's probably like your most memorable experience that you've gained from it?
So I think you really kind of learn a lot just about them. Like the biggest thing is that like when people are investigating, we walk into these buildings and we're like, did you live here? Did you die here? Show yourself. What's your name? Blah blah blah. Like this battery of things that we all ask. We all ask those questions, right?
Yeah.
But it's to me it really started to hit home when it was like, wait a minute. Like this person's name was Gracie, and I know Gracie's history now, and I know where Gracie's coming from, and I know all of Gracie's diagnoses, and I know the freaking medications she was on. I know Gracie. And now
Hmm.
I can sit in there with her and I can be like, hey, girl, like, what'd you do today? What are you doing
Yeah.
tomorrow? What are you doing tonight? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, like, it seems to do better here. Like, instead of like walking in guns blazing, so to speak, right? You walk in, you sit down for an hour and just be like, what are you up to? And you're just asking very generic questions that you would literally just ask anybody, right? In conversation. And it seems to get better results that way. But it's
Mhm.
recognizing that they are and were people, just as we
Yeah.
are now, just without the meat sack. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like that's it. So
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest like revelation for me.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, what's your favorite like method of investigating?
So that right there,
Hmm.
like full immersion for me is the best. I
Yeah.
always like to do it solo as well for whatever reason. I think I'm just a glutton for punishment, but like I love to put myself in a situation that's weird. It's a little
Yeah.
scary, but at the same time, I don't have to worry that person's stomach just growled. That person
Yeah.
just burped. That person is shuffling around on the floor. That person is situating themselves. It's all me. I
Yeah.
know what noises I'm making. And you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And I can call that out just right there or even before it happens. Um, and so it flows a little smoother for me in my
Mhm.
ADD brain or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Um, so it's like that works best for me. But again, like those conversational things where it's just like, hey man, like the other night at McIntyre, I was having this conversation with this dude on the spirit box, and I was like, what's up, dude? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like having a conversation like I would just with like my brother, you
Yeah.
know, it just chewing the fat, so to speak.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of change speed a little bit. So you do a little bit of everything. You're kind of a jack of all trades, filmmaking, musician, author.
Yeah.
What is it that you wanted to do whenever you were a kid?
Oh
Like, is
God.
there one particular thing that you like wanted to do, or did you always want to do it?
You know, it's weird. Like I always wanted to be like a vet, like a veterinarian. I know.
Actually?
Yeah, I did.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like I always thought that I would do something with like animals or whatever. And I love animals. Um, I don't like snakes. I hate snakes. But anyway,
Me too.
but yeah, so I'm just like, but like I always thought that I would do something in that kind of field or whatever. And then it's
Hmm.
like even in high school, I was like, well, I'm probably just gonna go. And I was gonna study to be a nuclear medical technician. That's what I was gonna do. And
Holy.
right. And then I was like, oh wait, that sucks. I don't want to do that. And so I was like, what else interests me? And I was like, history.
Yeah.
And so I was going to school to become then a history teacher, with aspirations to then get my master's and hopefully one day teach in a university, but teach
Hmm.
history specifically. And then I was like, but I've always loved ghosts and I've always loved all this weird crap. And especially when I was in college and found my tribe of people who also like to talk to walls in the middle of the night, you know? Um, it was then that I was like, well, you know, history and the paranormal are hand in hand. I mean, you can't have one
Oh,
without
for
the other.
sure.
Exactly.
And they complement each other so well. And again, like I was saying before, like when the two can come together and like shake hands and you can correlate historical fact with paranormal happenings, it's like there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, my brain is all over the place and has been ever since I was a kid now. Now that I'm thinking
Just-
about it.
yeah.
Same here.
Speaking of shaking hands, is there any way, because I know that I have a couple times during investigations, is there any way that you mix like your investigation and music?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a great
absolutely.
question.
Elaborate a little bit on that.
So I tell you, so for whatever reason, like they love music here. Like they
Mhm.
love music. And I mean, I'm in a band. I play guitar and I sing and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I'm going to try to do something. And I've done this numerous times now where I've sat in a room and I've just played a song on a guitar and sang along and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, now it's your turn. Like sing me a song, sing something for me. And there was this one this one time this voice, this beautiful like angelic voice, and it held and held and held and sustained and it was so cool. Like my jaw literally dropped. But I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They love music around here. And the thing is,
Yeah.
like I would love to show more of all of that, those interactions. Um, but I always get copyright stricken. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't want to do that. I don't want to step on toes or upset anybody in that way. But I tell you, Buddy Holly, Elvis, the Beach Boys,
Yes,
they
yes.
love that stuff. And it's like I grew up, I was a huge Beach Boy fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I
Hmm.
love that shit. And
Yeah.
so I play that stuff all the time for them. You know what else they fucking love? This is weird to me. Sleep Token and Ghost. They seem to love it. Don't ask me why. I
Okay.
enjoy it. They
Odd.
they love it over here.
I'll have to remember that for October.
Not asking questions. You know what
That's
I'm saying? Like,
crazy.
yeah, I freaking love that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. It's really cool.
We had investigated Old South Pittsburgh once, and there was a man, and he was kind of a groundskeeper after the hospital had kind of went out of business. And I've told this story a couple times, not out of business, but we were in his room, and he always went to sleep at 11. And so we were sitting there talking to him, and the owner had told us that he really loved Credence. So my mom started playing Credence. It wasn't getting any response. And
Mm.
like, and we didn't have a lot of internet there. So we were kind of just going out of our like downloaded stuff. I didn't have any Credence downloaded, but I'm a huge fan of Queen, huge fan of Bowie. So I was just kind of like shuffling through stuff, and Bohemian Rhapsody came on. And so I was playing this and I just didn't skip it. And all of the equipment was going off. And then it got to the part after like the first kind of operatic situation at the
Hmm.
very beginning of the song to where it started picking up and we were getting to the guitar part. And whenever the bass started just really amping up, it was almost as if we had the REM pod stuck on the record player in his room. And it was going off to the beat of the sound almost as if he was tapping his hand on it.
Oh my
And
God.
then I was like, I had asked him, I was like, do you know who's playing the guitar here? Just to try to see if I could get anything. And we had this little yes no box. And
Oh
it
yeah.
started the yes just started going crazy. And it went on like that through almost the entire song. And he also liked what is it, the Young Veins? They're like kind of a band that sprung off of Panic at the Disco, and
Yeah.
he really liked their music for some reason.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is cool. So I was like, I like this. So I started playing their song Cape Town, and then the clock hit about 11 and everything died. And then our friends were like, what's happening? And I was like, Mom was like, what time is it? I was like, it's 11. So it's like he went to sleep.
He went to bed.
But I
Interesting.
think that music is one of the best ways that you can bridge life and death just
Yeah.
because it's kind of timeless, you know? Everyone has
Absolutely.
something that they like. So I
Absolutely.
really thought that was beautiful.
That is really cool. That is a cool idea. I need to incorporate it more. I will say
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is such a good idea. Like I said, like yeah, just the I don't know. There's something about like the older type of music too that's just freaking great. You know,
Yeah.
it's freaking great. Queen is freaking amazing. Like I love that
Yes. Yes,
stuff.
yes,
I
yes.
love that stuff.
I'm just that is something that I do want to explore a lot more. And with you talking about how you actually bring your guitar, I want to start bringing my bass maybe because I didn't know that you could incorporate it like that. But I don't know. I'm trying to find more expansive ways to investigate and not just your S's method and dowsing
Hmm.
rods, just finding something a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's something that's really cool. And it's like yeah, if you have the talent and the just desire to do that, I mean, go for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like absolutely do that. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So if you were like talking to someone who wasn't ready just to be like, oh, I want to be a paranormal investigator, kind of dancing around with history, how you are, what would you say to them to kind of get them to choose paranormal?
So like I always tell people I was like, especially like kids, like last night here at the manor, we had like, God, it was like 40 middle school kids. Yeah. And
Oh,
they're a part of a paranormal club that's sanctioned by their school, which is amazing. And this was
that's
like a field trip. They
crazy.
do this every year, and I just
Wow.
allow them to come to the building. And it's like, yep, it's all yours, you
Are
know?
they from Iowa,
Wow.
or where are they from?
Yeah, they're from Iowa. Yeah.
Okay, because I know there's, a group at I think it's actually a high school in Indiana that does the
Hmm,
same thing.
that's
Damn,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
I'm like, I wish they had that when I was a kid. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Because
for
it's
sure, right?
freaking amazing. So, so they were here, and I tell them just like I tell everybody, right? Like, understand that you're going to probably experience something that's going to be weird.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be taken as scary, but it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
You're going to hear a voice maybe from somebody that you can't see. That's weird. You're going to see an inanimate object maybe roll or move across the floor. That's weird. That shouldn't happen. And our brains are telling us that can't happen, but it's happening right in front of our faces, right? So now accept that. It's going to be weird. But then I say, I promise you, if you can stand still and you can allow that to happen and you can observe that happening, and then you can push yourself a little bit farther and you can take one step towards that source and then maybe another step towards that source. It's like things are going to get weird and they're going to get uncomfortable, but I promise you, the good stuff happens if you can just take a step or two forward. That's when the good stuff
Yeah.
happens. And I always tell people that I'm like, you can incorporate that in your own everyday life, that things suck sometimes. But I promise you, like, if you can stay put, sit in that shit and then take a step forward and then take another step forward, that's when the good shit happens. Like, I
Yeah,
promise you, it's the exact same thing as life. So, yeah.
that's well said. So, with you doing everything, once again, who would you say your biggest inspirations have been and still are?
Ooh, goodness. There, there are numerous people that it's weird, right? Like I've worked with so many people and I've filmed with people and all this stuff. And there's always people that you think you're like, I want to aspire to be that person,
Mhm.
And then sometimes you meet your heroes and they're not exactly what you thought they would be. And you're like, okay, crap. Like that's maybe not somebody to aspire to, right? Um, I always tell people it's like I grew up reading the works of like Hans Holzer, and I grew up reading weird parapsychological studies from the 50s and 60s, all of
Mhm.
that weird stuff, but it got me asking the bigger questions. Like, and ultimately we're just after one question: what happens when we die? That's all we need to know. That's all we
Yeah.
want to know. um but there's so many different things that it's like I always now, I mean, Christ, I'm 44 years old, and I'm like, I um I keep my circle incredibly small now. Um Especially like in the business that I'm in or whatever, like there are so many people that want to claim friendship and then just stab you in the back, and
Oh, definitely.
you have to be really careful with that. And that's a sad reality because I'm also a very glass half full type of dude. And I don't want to think the worst of people. I don't ever want to think that. So it's like right now, like there's a really cool speech like from Matthew McConaughey. Sounds so stupid, but it was like some kind of a graduation speech that he was giving, and it was like
Okay.
this commencement address, and he's like, "Who's your hero? Who's your hero?" He goes, "My hero is me 10 years from now."
Hmm.
I'm like, F yes. I'm like, I totally understand what he's saying right now. Like, I get that. He's aspiring to just be better himself. And that's what I'm constantly striving to do. So that when those middle school kids come back next year, you know what I mean? They have somebody positive to look up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying so damn hard to be the best version of myself that I can be
Hmm.
always. Like, I don't want to step on toes. I don't want to piss anybody off ever. I don't ever want to do that. But yeah, so it's like maybe that's my answer. Like myself 5 years from now or 10 years from now or whatever. But yeah.
I the last thing that I really have to talk about is kind of a really far sidebar. So
Hmm.
before we go over to that, Matt, do you have anything that you want to cover or ask?
Well, not really. I think like last time it was just Josh and I, we covered quite a bit.
We did,
So
didn't we,
Yeah.
bro?
yeah.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Well, I'm a huge film geek,
Oh,
and
cool.
I was scrolling through your stuff, and I saw a lot about Sutherland and a lot about the Lost Boys.
Oh,
You
nice.
And
see this autograph behind me right here? Like,
yeah, so mm, throughout middle school, Lost Boys was like one
oh,
of my favorite movies.
yeah,
So I want to talk about film for a little bit.
I love it.
What draws you to that movie? What's your favorite part about that movie? What is it for
So
that?
it's just like all these people, right, started saying like that I look like Kiefer Sutherland, right?
Yeah,
And that I look like the Wish.com version, I believe, of Kiefer Sutherland. I'm like, okay, cool.
right.
And so it's kind of become this running joke. And it really pissed me off because he was just in Kansas City like 2 weeks ago and I couldn't go. I wanted to go and I was going to spend whatever it took just to get a picture next to him.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so that like I don't know, film in general, right? Like there are certain things like the thing that I love the most about film is it can make you feel a certain way. It can make you
Yeah.
it can elicit these responses. The Exorcist is by far one of my favorite movies
Mhm.
for numerous reasons. I can watch that movie and I can be terrified, right? And I can watch The Exorcist and I can also feel uplifted. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's almost as if the mood that you're in going into the film is going to dictate how you feel coming out of the film, right? And
Yeah.
it's movies like that that really stick with me. The Blair Witch Project, probably one of my all-time favorite movies because of what it did to the human populace around it. People were wigging the frick out because
Oh
they
yeah.
had brilliantly masterminded this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, three film students, they went missing. And it's like, okay, there was a website, there was missing posters, there was all of this stuff surrounding, well, where are these people? Well, they were sitting at their apartments because they were under NDA not to go outside. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. Don't say a word. And then a year later, they finally let the cat out of the bag. Now, this was just like a found footage film, and these are just improv actors, basically.
Well,
Like
the actors didn't know that it was a horror film. They
they
thought it was a
did not.
documentary.
Right. And so I'm like,
So
this was so brilliantly done from top to bottom. It was just the perfect head fuck for everybody involved. And it's like, it was so masterfully done.
yeah.
Um, I absolutely love that film too. But man, yeah, the Kiefer Sutherland stuff has to stop, god damn it. Like it's gotta stop. Like I all these people. Um, but yeah, so I have friends that'll come up to me and they're wearing like Kiefer Sutherland shirts and it's him like from the Lost Boys specifically that
Yeah.
says like it's just noodles, you know, like that type of stuff. like that. Um they oh man, they just mess with me so much on that. So yeah, it's fun though. It's all in good fun.
Get that. Yeah. All of my friends need to stop with the Sabrina Carpenter stuff
I was gonna
because
mention
we have
this.
the same haircut,
I was gonna mention
not
this.
the
Yeah, I'm
same
like,
person.
you look like Sabrina. Yes, exactly. So,
Well,
but but what about your favorite film then? Like, what same type of genre, or is it The
okay,
Lost
yeah.
Boys?
So no,
Okay,
right now,
yeah,
my favorite movie, I think how you said the feelings that you get from film,
yeah,
it's the reason why this one's my favorite. So I everyone I've talked to disagrees with me, but I'm a huge fan of Stephen King.
oh yeah,
And everyone's like, arguably, the original It is the best with Tim Curry.
okay,
The feelings and just like all the memories that I have made with the 2017 one,
hmm
with like It Part One and Part Two, those are my favorite movies ever. I think that it's a perfect balance between new age comedy and old comedy, not to mention the stacked ass cast that they have for both of them.
100%.
The cinematography is great. I love the filter they used for it. Everything about it is just great to me.
Yeah,
But that's like my favorite horror film. I could go way more in depth on anything else, but
yeah,
I think that It has to be my favorite.
That right, like so obviously I grew up watching the original and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And I enjoy Stephen King. I've always loved
Yes.
everything, right? And watching that original It or whatever, it was great. Like, don't get me wrong, it was really well done. There's always a level of cheese.
Yes, there
And I was just
is.
like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but there's cheese, And I'm like,
Hmm.
it's kind of cheesy, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, so I
Yeah.
get it. When the new It movies came out,
Yeah.
obviously I was first in line. I was in the theater
Yeah.
watching this stuff, right? Immediately, like I think it was 10 minutes in to the movie, I turned to my brother and I said, instant classic. Like
Yeah.
instant classic. And the like you said, the casting alone,
Oh,
those kids that they had for the first one,
yes.
they
What's
could not have
Jaden
done a better job.
Martell,
Yeah,
Wyatt Olaf, Finn Wolfhard, and Jack Dylan Grazer, the way they work together on
that's it.
screen,
They could not
it's
have picked a better
incredible.
cast.
And they were really good friends in real life. They called themselves the V team, like off screen.
Yeah.
And like Sophia Lillis and I can't Jeremy something or another.
Hmm.
Just the way that Steven casted that movie and then his little cameo in part two, and then not to mention Bill Hader being in part two.
Yeah. Where did he come from, right? That
Like
was
he plays
great.
my favorite actor, plays my favorite character.
Yeah. He did
Whoa.
great in that film. He was the perfect pick for that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
So good. So good. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
what's another?
I got one for horror genre. So my
Hit it.
youngest
Let's
daughter and
hear it.
I were watching this Would You Rather thing that she likes to watch on YouTube. So Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, or Friday the 13th?
Ooh.
I know that I could not beat Freddy Krueger because I would fall asleep. I I low key think that I would be able to probably Jason. I don't know because you like Michael just keeps
He never stops.
on. He
Right?
He
doesn't.
never stops. Yeah.
And I feel like
Gosh.
if you just stayed away from that, because like Michael, he's like in the suburbs, like he's in
He's
people's
Yeah.
he's
houses.
all up in your neighborhood. Like all
I think if you just stayed the hell away from the camp, you'd be good. Just don't go there in the first place.
That's a good point though. Like Freddie, gosh dang. Like Matt, who did you pick on that then?
I picked Freddy.
Did you?
Yep. But
Yeah.
How?
here's a fun fact about the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh.
Freddy was only in the movie for 8 minutes. That's
Is
it.
that all?
That's it.
Wow.
Wow. They built an entire horror movie over somebody that you're only like a protagonist, basically, that you're
Yeah.
only going to see for 8 minutes.
Yep.
See, that's fascinating. I didn't even realize that.
I didn't either until like probably a couple weeks ago. I'm like, really? I'm like,
The OG Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the one that had Johnny Depp in it, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
you know.
Love that dude. Love that dude.
The only problem I have with the Nightmare on Elm Street when they did that remake 10 years ago or whatever. Oh my God.
I didn't watch it.
Don't.
Bad, Josh. I didn't watch it.
Don't. It
It's
was it
bad.
was horrible.
Damn it.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of figured. I mean, you're not gonna do better. You're not gonna do better with Freddy
No, not at all.
than the original. Is Robert Englund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not gonna do better than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just looking up like classic horror movies where I could throw a pitch to you over like Would You Rather. Why the hell do they have Dorian Gray as a classic horror movie?
What do you
Like the
mean?
Oscar Wilde,
Yeah.
it's as horror. That's not horror.
Interesting.
No, that's
Sorry,
weird.
that was really off
Was that
topic.
on Google?
Yes,
That's weird.
I don't even know who.
No,
That's dumb.
that
Okay,
doesn't seem
sorry.
like it
Go
tracks
back to
though.
what you're talking about.
No, it just doesn't seem like it tracks. That's weird.
It doesn't.
Hmm.
All right, Dracula or Frankenstein?
Ooh. I've always been a Dracula fan. Yeah, I got to go with Dracula.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh,
here's my answer.
Oh, look at that.
oh,
Dude, that's awesome. It's a
right.
Frankenduck.
Yep.
That's awesome. That is freaking awesome. Oh my gosh, man.
I just had one and it just went away. Oh my God.
I want to show you this. It's really cool. Just because it's a Funko Pop Jason Voorhees, but it's autographed by that Ari Lehman, who was the first Jason. And
Oh,
I don't know if
Nice.
you could
cool.
read that or if it's backwards, but it says, "Fuck Freddy, he's my bitch." He
Nice.
autographed it.
Right.
Like that's pretty
Oh
cool.
my gosh. I
You
was
can't you
in.
can't see it, but way
Hmm.
back somewhere, I got a Funko Pop back there of Carol Ann from Poltergeist 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
That is freaking cool.
Yep.
Man,
I
that's good
had
stuff.
been at this Funko Pop store and I was looking at all their horror stuff and I was like, "Do you have anything from it?" Because I was looking for a specific one.
Oh yeah.
And this dude spent like 40 minutes looking. And then he comes back to me with one, and it's just Pennywise. It's not the one I
It
wanted.
wasn't the one you were
And I
after.
wasn't going to be like, oh, okay, put it back. So I ended up
You
buying
buy
it. And I was so pissed because I
you
had the
bought
one
it.
from Stranger Things that I wanted. And I was like,
Oh
now I
yeah.
have to buy this damn thing.
I will say like Stranger Things was great.
I hated the last season. I hated it.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
have my,
See, that's good stuff. That's good
I love
stuff.
Well,
Mike.
on my
So,
Yeah.
shelf right above me, I got the Scoops Troop. I got all four of them.
Do you?
really?
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
I have Mike from the new one, and I don't know where my other ones are at. Because I had Will in his little wizard costume. I love that
Nice.
one
Yeah.
so much.
My daughters um my
Oh,
daughters
Jada disappeared.
oh my daughters have they had a mad crush on Finn. You know what I mean? They had a mad crush on that actor. And so then when he was in the new Ghostbusters movies,
Yep.
they were like, "Oh, Fin's in that." You know what I mean? So we it's still the running joke around the house that it's Fin, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing about Poltergeist, so
Oh
I don't
yeah.
remember what the date is, but later this month I have a podcast with an investigator out of California, and she's actually investigated the Poltergeist house. I'm
I
like,
got a
oh, I can't
I
wait.
got a buddy that did that last year. He went to the Poltergeist house and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that's freaking amazing that you're able to do that.
Right?
Like so cool. It's so freaking cool. But yeah, that's good stuff, bro. I don't know. I want to go. I want to go.
So do I. Where in California is that again?
I don't even remember. I don't even remember where it's at. But yeah, I got to get out there at some point. I mean, it's got to be like LA, right? It's got to be
Well,
there.
it's got to be somewhere out there.
Yeah, it's all out there.
I'm sure Jada will be back in a second. This happened one time last week. She like popped out and came back in,
Oh, it's just like a connection thing, probably.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, see, there she is right there.
Oh,
Maybe.
Yes, his phone just died.
Oh, that's okay. I go, she'll be back.
Mine. Mine.
that's funny.
But I grabbed him.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Nice.
This is the 40-minute find.
The 40-minute find.
Pisses me off.
Yep, you bought it just because the guy put in the effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
if you
Yeah.
spend 40 minutes looking for something, I'll get it.
So I see your Ghostbusters poster back there. We're talking about Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
I love talking about Ghostbusters.
I
Here's something
love that.
Ghostbusters.
Dude, my
Oh,
mom has Slimer downstairs.
And
that's
it even lights up red.
that's really cool. I love that stuff. I'm just a Ghostbusters freak. I have a REM pod that I have two REM pods. One's the ghost car, the Ecto
Ooh,
one, and
Ecto one.
the other one is the trap, the ghost trap.
Nice.
So what we did was, when the movies came out, they had all the promotional swag through
Yeah.
AMC. And so they're just like popcorn holders, right? But they light
Mhm.
up and they're fun. So
Oh, sick.
we made REM pods out of them.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
really cool.
nothing beats the original one, but
Yeah,
Ghostbusters, I feel, is one of the only movies that has like a good sequel to it.
I I enjoyed the second one.
I
Hmm.
did too.
Yeah, I did
I
not mind
thought
the second one.
Egon had great character development. He was funnier in the second one.
Yeah,
The female one, another stacked cast. I
yeah,
loved having all the SNL ladies on that movie.
they're
And
the
then the new
best.
ones aren't bad either.
That's what we were talking about. I'm like, because I said my daughters have a mad crush on Finn Wolfhard, right?
Oh, I
Like
do
they,
too, if we
right.
couldn't tell.
So they, so when like the Ghostbusters films, the new ones came out,
Yeah.
and they called him Finny Fin Fin. He's in that movie, and so they were just like
I
swooning over this kid. I'm like, oh my god, guys. But yeah, like I love those, and I mean, how can you go wrong with Paul Rudd anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. I
come
love Paul Rudd.
on,
And
he's
McKenna
the
Grace
best.
was great too.
Oh my God. Like she did such a fantastic job. Like
Yeah.
I hope they don't stop making the films. I hope it doesn't become like a Marvel thing where they just beat the dead horse into the ground.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like I hope that it's like tastefully done throughout the years. Like that would be
Yes.
great.
Yes, very much so.
Um
And
but
I
yeah,
can
just
say,
keeping it
like,
alive.
for like the all-female Ghostbusters, I was kind of low-key mad they didn't make a second one.
I know. And they
Because
Yeah.
set it
like
up so great.
it's
And
like
their equipment.
when
It
my
was the
oldest
best.
daughter, when that came out, I kid you not, we legit watched that every day for like 5 months. It's like
Yeah.
I knew that movie backwards and forwards.
I was the exact same. So even my daughter, my oldest daughter now, who's I mean, she's 17 years old now, but um back when it came out, she dressed up as Holtzman for
Nice.
for Halloween. And
Oh,
I
I
had
would.
taken it.
She's my favorite.
Oh no, I do. And so I took a picture of her and I tweeted it back then. And
Mm-mm.
I had tagged Paul Feig,
Okay.
the director. And I was like, just raising him right and all that stuff and all that. He freaking retweeted that shit.
Holy
That's
I was
shit.
like,
awesome.
oh my God. I was like, that is amazing. So yeah, really, really cool.
That's
Really cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so who's everyone's favorite Ghostbuster of the original?
I listen. I everything that I do is dripping with sarcasm. So it's got to be Venkman for me. Like, come on.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I got mine right
Matt.
here.
Right. My mom's too.
that's so cool.
I'm I act the most like Venkman, but Spengler's my favorite.
Spangler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the story arc that they started to create with like Afterlife and then Frozen Kingdom and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
just the lineage of the Spangler family. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that aspect. So yeah,
Yes.
it's good stuff.
Very well done. See, there's another. It's not Ghostbusters. Hold on. It'll come to me in a second. There's something else that I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember. Okay, just this isn't it, but like what's both of your favorite Stephen King movies?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a tough one.
And this is also counting like Stand By Me. It doesn't have to be
See,
horror.
like Stand By Me is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's certainly one of my favorite movies.
Mhm.
I loved the book Under the Dome. I read that son of a bitch like 6 times. Like that's that nasty freaking tome of a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I read that thing cover to cover so many times. I loved that story.
I would probably, for me, I would have to say Pet Cemetery.
Oh, that's a good one too, though. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's a good one. Pet Cemetery was classic.
Mhm.
It was freaking creepy though. Like,
My mom had a cat named Church. It was
oh,
gray and it would like sit at her back door and like growl at her.
yep.
Freaked her out really bad.
That's funny. That's funny. Freaking church. Jesus. No.
I think that the one that like messes with me the most is Thinner. That one really got to me.
So
Like There's no way to kind of get out of that curse. But probably shit, maximum overdrive.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time I'm on the road. Oh,
Yeah.
no. No. And then that damn woman, Kurt,
Which one was
I
it?
wish she just would have walked right out there.
Oh,
The woman who
the yeah.
kept saying Curtis. She would have just walked out there for like 5 minutes.
That's
Like kind
funny.
of stood there. That'd been great.
That's
The
funny.
long walk was good too. That's a more recent one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
The
it's really good. It's dystopian. The
Yeah, I
long
need to see
walk.
that. I need to see that. I also need to
Yeah.
see they started making the Dark Tower stuff. I haven't
Yes,
seen and I haven't
I
seen
think
any
they're
of those
making
yet.
a new one.
Are they?
I think they're making a new one of those, yeah.
'Cause I have not seen any of
Um,
those yet.
I think that my favorite besides it has to be Carrie. The original Carrie.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Really love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Man, there's so many.
And then something that I really would love to own whenever I'm older, is I think it's called Rush, his novel that got pulled from the shelves. It for it to be Stephen King, it's pretty bad, but
Yeah,
yeah, they don't sell it anymore. And I think it's Rush or Rage. Might be Rage.
weird.
Anyway, it got pulled from the shelves and there's only about like 15, 25 copies still in circulation.
I didn't even know.
So, and they're
Like,
all
I
like
didn't know that he had something
hella
that was
expensive.
pulled.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta look it up.
What the
It's
heck?
really crazy.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Give
Hmm.
that one a Google. That one's kind of crazy.
Okay, so on the topic of movies, I'm gonna
Yeah.
favorite all-time movie that wouldn't be in the horror genre.
Ooh,
Let me look at my letterboxd.
that would not
I
be in
don't
the
know.
horror
Mine kind of
genre.
is in the horror genre. Princess Bride.
Ooh.
Love that movie. But
That's a good one.
that's probably not my top.
See, I don't know. Like, I
I'm
like the
looking at my
Goonies.
letterbox.
Like, I love the Goonies, but is that in the horror genre? Probably not. That's more
No,
adventure, right? That's
yeah.
more of like a
Yeah.
rite of passage and all of that stuff. Like, I loved the Goonies.
I really like um uh The Breakfast Club.
That
That's
was
a
a good
great
one.
one.
Can't beat that one.
All the John Hughes films, you know what I
Um
mean? Like, those are just
My,
good.
so like I don't know why I fell in love with this movie, but my all-time favorite movie, High Fidelity.
Oh, dude.
Love that
not
movie.
seen that.
Great movie. Great movie.
So
Oh,
like
man.
this last fall, like one of the teachers I'm really close with, the school I work with, she was doing one of her classes. They have to like make a short, like 3 to 6 minute topic on their favorite movie, and like we even did it, and I did mine on High Fidelity, and it's like funny how it's like I'm in a middle school, and it's like how even some of these kids knew what that movie was.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so freaking cool.
But I'm a huge John Cusack fan, so it's like,
I love Cusack.
yep,
Man, I love that dude. Yeah. Did you ever watch 1408?
yeah,
That was a good one too.
yep.
That was a good one. Yeah. I
I
freaking
think
loved him in
one
like
that
what the hell was it? It was Stand By Me. He had a short
I
Yeah,
love Stand
bit.
By Me.
Yeah, and he was in Stand By Me briefly. He was the older brother, you know?
yep.
And I was like, God, man. Like he was such a cool older brother in
Hmm.
that movie, you know, so supportive and loving and all that stuff. And then oh my God, it's crazy. Such a good one.
One that I can like watch again and again and just not get sick of is School of Rock.
Oh
That
yeah.
one's really
The best.
great.
Jack Black is Freaking amazing.
I think that one that that means a lot to me is Little Women, the 2019 version of Practical Magic.
Oh yeah.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
And then Hocus Pocus, I think.
That's a good one.
That was one of my
Hocus Pocus was
favorites
fun.
growing up.
Did you see the one that they just came out with a few years back?
Which one?
It was the Hocus Pocus. I think it was just a sequel,
Hocus Pocus.
basically.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
didn't love it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like it
I'm like,
very
I think they were
much.
trying a little
Didn't
too
like
hard, but it
it.
was really
Yeah.
funny. It was fun. But yeah.
And then, God, it's such a shitty movie, but super bad. I always
Oh, yeah.
get a nice laugh at that one. Just how stupid they are.
Well, that's just it. It's like but it's yeah. The again,
Yeah,
like the
like
cast is
Jonah Hill
hilarious.
and Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah. So
cast
it's
was
kind of hard to go
perfect.
wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The worst
Yeah.
movie I think for me that I ever saw, but I didn't see at the same time, S- Sleepers.
Sleepers.
Sleepers. What's
I couldn't even tell you what it's about, but a group of friends and I went to see it in the movie theater. I fell asleep in the first 10 minutes. That's how bad it was.
You're like, this is
Oh my
terrible.
God. Another one that it's not really like one of the best movies ever, but just like it's always been up there of mine is like the trilogy of Night at the Museum. The cast
Oh
is
yeah.
great. Just it's so dumb, but it was my favorite growing up. And then all of the Hobbit movies. Those
Those are great.
I love The Hobbit
Those are
over
great.
Lord of the Rings at any day.
Yeah. Yep. Those are great. Like any of those movies are just huge, epic. Like I love those movies. They're
Yeah.
just great.
So on the nowadays talking about movies, the paranormal activity movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Or the
remember
haunted house movie that parodied that.
those movies are terrible. I uh I sat my daughter down to watch the original like paranormal activity movie and I didn't tell her that it was fake, obviously.
Yeah,
You know, I was
That's
like,
what my mom did.
yup. And she was so freaked out. And I was like, sweetheart, it's all fake. It's bull crap.
I
And she
did it
goes,
with my
she was
daughter.
like,
Like,
that was fake? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, but you said there was others. I'm like, yeah. She's like, can we watch those now? And I'm like, yup. So
yeah, I
we
did it
just
with
like
my
did a
daughter like
marathon.
over the winter, and she's like, "What is this?"
Yup. It's the best. Oh my God. Yeah, the haunted house movies, those are
I don't give up.
they're
Keisha?
just
Dude, those are
raunchy.
so good.
Just
Like I was
freaking raunchy.
That's the word I was looking for super bad.
Oh my
like I was telling
God.
Jada and our guest
God.
last night about that new Netflix show. I don't know if you've heard of it, Josh, but
Oh,
something very bad is going to happen. There's only 8 episodes. The Duffer Brothers from Stranger Things executive produced it. I'm
well
only
then
on the
I'm
third,
not fucking watching that.
I'm only on the third episode.
They're not
It
good
is like
writers.
it is so good, but it's just like I don't know. There's like I guess the ending there's like a super huge twist, so it's kind of like
Oh my God.
it's like more of a horror type show, and it's like really interesting. It like makes me want to go. It's like the setting is like this huge log cabin resort owned by a family in the middle of the woods. It makes me want to go investigate a place like that.
That's awesome.
But it's just like it's a really interesting show.
I'm gonna have to check this out now.
Yeah, it just came out like a week ago.
Really? Yeah, I gotta check this out. I've been in editing hell ever since I got back. So like and I'm yeah, there's no end in sight for now.
Oh, there
But yeah.
never is.
But I'm gonna have to check that out. Because good Lord.
Jada froze again. She's sleeping. What's her computer phone dying? What's going on
Yeah,
over here?
maybe. Maybe. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know what is going on. Oh, see, now she's gone again.
Oh yeah, and then it just drops out.
Um,
Oh,
yeah. We'll wait for her to pop back in before we say our
yeah,
goodbyes.
that's fine.
So, what is next up for you?
Ooh. So
Nope, she's back.
I think I'm trying to think like next. Hmm. I mean, obviously more filming and all of that
My
stuff.
phone just like died. Not died.
It just like
She's
I'm
possessed
sorry.
now.
she's possessed.
I keep like I swear I am. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, yeah. No, I think next for me it's like now like all the paracons and stuff are kind of ramping up, and so it's like I'm gearing up for that, and I'm trying to stay on top of all of the YouTube stuff, and then I'm writing a book. I'm doing all sorts of crap. I'm trying to plan the next documentary film, like whatever that looks like, and I need it to be good. Um, and so yeah, like I'm still like weighing options as to what to do with that. But I guess we'll see what happens. 2026 is going to be a freaking roller coaster from this point until it ends. So because we'll go through spooky season and then catch our breath and then start 2027. So here
Right.
we go. You know.
Yeah, it's like, just like looking through my podcast schedule, it's like every date I have for podcasting between now and July 2nd, with like the exception of 3 dates, they're all booked up. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Yeah.
And then like, investigations coming up, and
Exactly.
it's like, July, I'm thinking basically taking the whole month off, just kind of take a breather, and then,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's so much going on.
It's important, man, to like have time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I will 100% carve out time out of every day to sit on my ass and play Phasmophobia for an hour. I will give myself that hour and I will just play a game or watch a movie or do whatever just for that hour and
Yep.
then get back into it. Um, but it's like, yeah, it's like there's numerous things that I'm doing that are in the works or whatever. It's like there's a really cool project that I was lucky enough to help produce. Um, it's going to be coming out soon. It's going to look just like a ghost show. It's going to look just like a ghost show that you've already watched, right? However, it's going to be a little different this time because it's going to be released on Steam. It's
Okay.
not going to be on a network. What's interesting about it is you, as the audience, are able to then you get to pick the investigator, you get to pick the equipment they're using, you get to pick the room they're investigating, you get to pick the questions they're asking. It's going to be a very interactive thing. It's going to look like a ghost
Mm.
show and play like a video game.
Nice.
So it's going to
Ooh,
be like 6 hours from start to finish, but then there's thousands of different scenarios that can play out as it goes along. It should be
That's
a lot of
cool.
fun.
mm.
So we filmed the first episode here, and then we're going to go to Sleeper Mortuary in Iola, Kansas.
Okay.
Um, and so yeah, we're going to do that, and that'll be the second episode. But yeah, like it's going to be a lot of fun. And so there's that. I've got my fingers crossed right now, but I'm working on potentially purchasing another haunted location.
Oh,
So we'll see what happens with all of that, but I don't know at this point in time. I don't know. It's everything's up in the air at this point, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
It sounds like it.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have any closing thoughts, Jada?
I think I have talked quite a bit tonight, so no.
All right.
All right, well, I think that's it. So As long as nobody else has anything else, I am good. So I
Okay.
hope that you guys have a great night. And I hope to do this little, I hope to have more talks about movies and stuff soon. So
All right.
thank you guys.
Yep. Thank you again for joining us, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. This was fun. I'd love to do this anytime.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good. Well, we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yep. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.